Hi, it's Kai. It's been a second. I am in a new apartment, even though you can't honestly really tell because I am still against a blank background. I'm hoping to not make it blank soon. And also, if the, what do you call it? What is that? The noise, what is that called? The volume, it's not coming to me. I don't know why the word isn't coming to me, but if for whatever reason the sound on this video is a little wonky, it's because my microphones, both of them, are broken. I literally have this one kind of like rigged to my sweater with a, what is that called? A bobby pin, not bobby pin, a pin, clothespin. So I am trying to find some magnets that are strong enough for me to like clip on. I can glue it, hot glue, whatever, and have one on the back and one on the front. Anyway, that is not what we need to be here for, especially since we are doing an empties video. I was like, I need to get rid of my 2025 empties because it is now 2026. So, and I've already started emptying products for 2026. So I needed to actually talk about the rest of 2025, close all of that, do my Project Pan stuff. That video is going to be coming as well. So anyway, let's just stop the chatter and get into it so that we're not sitting here all day. The first thing that I have is not in the bin because the bin is filled to the brim, but it is Audubon. I've talked about it a few times now. I use this for laundry. I use this for all over my house. It's a disinfectant, it's a cleaner, it deodorizes, it smells good. This is specifically the Cotton Breeze scent. I think I've purchased this scent twice, and now I am trying the Black Ice scent, which if you like kind of more, what is that, woody, fresh fragrances, that's really good. It's kind of like the Black Ice, what are those, car fresheners? They have Audubon in that scent. So same thing, you can use it for your laundry, you can use it on your floors and everything. Pet safe if you let it dry, you know, before your pets touch it. And obviously your pets don't want to like lick or ingest anything, but you know, it's like a good product that you can use all around in your apartment. And especially with me moving, cleaning a new place, you know, having things to really need this for, this just goes a long way. Like I've had this since, again, my previous apartment, and this lasted just until last week. So I really love Audubon. I would be their spokesperson if they wanted me to be their spokesperson. Again, I just at this point want to try all of the different scents of Audubon. Then we've got some laundry detergent. I decided to try this Persil because I had some Dollar General coupons. And if you coupon, stacking in the Dollar General app is so invigorating. Seeing the total go down the way that it does when you really focus on stacking the coupons and such, it is such a wonderful feeling. I love doing it. Dollar General is my favorite place to coupon because I feel like you can really get a lot of good deals there. Anyway, this is one of the laundry detergents that I wanted to try because people have asked me what my thoughts on different laundry detergents are, and I've been asked to do a laundry detergent and scent bead like breakdown type of video and what are my favorites and stuff. And I have to say this is one that is very much so at the top. I have been using powder detergents, and I still am using powder detergents because honestly, powder is going to be the best bang for your buck. But I had been mainly using powder detergents up until trying this one out. And even though this is the 20 load bottle, you get way more than 20 loads out of this. I had this, like this would last you the same amount as like the 80 load bottle of Gain. I don't know how many loads exactly. There is a laundry TikToker. His @ name is Jeeves, I think. He is a dry cleaner. Like his family has a dry cleaning business. It's been in his family for a while. His name is actually Zach though. I wonder where Jeeves came from. That is something that I don't like to comment a lot, especially on TikTokers. I don't know. It's like that psychology thing. Like I don't want you to see me and perceive me like at all. So I don't comment on sometimes other TikTokers that I really enjoy and admire. I don't comment as much as I should on their stuff, and I need to break myself out of that habit. But I love their channel so much. I would like watch YouTube. I would watch a show on like HBO about dry cleaning and stuff. Like I would, or I guess HGTV would probably be better for that. But anyway, it has a whole website where you can basically compare and contrast different laundry detergents on certain criteria. If you really want the like professional opinion on laundry detergents, definitely go there. You're not going to get it from me. I'm just an everyday person, and I also don't have much of a science background, so I don't know all of the science behind what makes a good detergent and what doesn't make a good detergent. But he says that you get over double pretty much like the dosing that you actually have to do because of how good this detergent is at removing stains, even with just a small or regular sized amount of it. According to him, the expert, you can easily get twice the amount of loads out of this, and I would have to attest to that. I do like 4 loads, at least 4 loads a week pretty much when I do my bedding and my clothes. By the end of it, I do a lot of laundry. So if I'm doing 4 loads a week, and on average there's 4 weeks in a month, I would be doing 16 loads. So this should have only lasted me 1 month. And again, I'm pretty sure this lasted me until I moved in here, or until right up until moving in here. And I want to say that I got this in October is when I purchased it. So I really do like it. The scent of this, since I'm gushing about laundry detergent for way too long, but the scent of this is a little bit more of that fresh alpine, almost woody type of scent. I really personally enjoy it, and I don't feel like it's something that sticks to clothes particularly well. You know, I feel like I still have to supplement with my scent beads if I want the scent to really get into the clothes. If you like the Mrs. Meyer's Birchwood scent, or is it Driftwood or Birchwood? One of those. If you like that scent of their laundry detergent and products, I think you would like Persil as well. And I think this is a better laundry detergent as far as performance than the Mrs. Meyer's. So I would for sure repurchase that. I want to try some of the other scents of Persil, but I really enjoyed that. I'm just trying, again, other things. There was a new formulation or reformulation of like Gain and Tide and a few different things, so I want to try those now that they are reformulated. Anywho, moving along, I got the Wicked for Good because I'm a sucker. I really liked Wicked, and I actually still have not seen Wicked for Good. I haven't gone to the movie theater. I just haven't gone to see it yet, and I think it's actually on like Amazon Prime and stuff like that, so that might end up being how I watch it personally, even though I don't know, we'll see. But I am, as my mother would say, a marketer's dream, and I got the Wicked for Good because I was out of scent beads and was like, might as well get the Emerald Charm and Yellow Brick Wonder scent beads. As far as what this smells like, kind of like a slightly fruity floral fragrance. If I'm being honest, it smells like a slight variation on the Lush scent of the, what is it, the Downy scent beads, which P&G and Gain both are under, or Downy and Gain are both under the P&G umbrella. So I do feel like there is a little bit of scent swapping between the Gain scent beads and the Downy scent beads, you know. All in all, I did like these. I think they're limited edition, so if I want to repurchase them, I will probably just sniff whatever version of their limited edition. What was that? Whatever version of their limited edition fragrances that are out there that smells similar to this, because they're probably going to do something similar with maybe a slight tweak. They'll make it a little bit more fruity or a little bit more floral or a little bit more clean and soapy feeling. So it's not like there's doing that much or that much variation in between all of them. Speaking of Downy scent beads, I got their Unstoppables. This is their unlimited edition, unlimited collection, sorry. And it is the number 37 Bergamot, Orris, and Vetiver scent. And I think this is intended to be a little bit of a more high class, fancier, almost luxury smelling type of line. I will say this does kind of smell to me like I Love You, or is it I Love Chew by Jimmy Choo? And that kind of attracted me to it, like that genre of fragrance. I do think it smelled, you know, nice, fresh, a little bit sweet, a little bit floral. I think it's pretty. I don't feel like it necessarily lasted the best on clothes. And to me, or at least previously before this line specifically, and maybe it's just this specific fragrance of them, I'll have to try out some of the other ones, but I personally felt like the scent just wasn't as apparent. It didn't stick around on the clothes through the dryer quite as well as some of the other Downy scent beads. And Downy scent beads are the ones that, in my opinion, usually hold the, actually no, I feel like my opinion is changing, and Gain smells like a little bit more pungent after the close, but I felt like Downy had a good mixture of the scent being pleasant. Not saying that Gain wasn't pleasant, but sometimes the Gain ones can be a little bit sharp. That's all I'm saying. They can be even maybe a little bit much, you know. I felt like that these were more balanced, and that just wasn't happening with this one. I just felt like it wasn't really sticking on the clothes as well. So don't know whether it's this collection or whether it was just the time that I was using them. Maybe it was my nose at the time. Maybe I was just stressed out with all of the moving stuff. I would try the other scents because I think they've come out with even more in that collection, but I don't know. I would probably even repurchase that one, but it would be more so for science. Then we've got Hella Airwick and Glades. So for Airwick, we have the Fresh Waters, which again, I was trying to remember to keep one of the little things in there, but I did not because I was moving and didn't want to keep a whole bunch of trash. And some things were just getting thrown out. Some things I was just like, I can't deal with this. Even right now, I'm in the process of unpacking and decluttering because my space is a little bit smaller than the apartment I was in for the past 3 years. I am just kind of like, okay, this is a little cutthroat. I'm just going to throw this out. Like, I'm over and done with it. So I just got rid of them. This is a good scent. However, Airwick to me, they just fade so quickly. It's not even like the scent, you go through the actual scent, the oil itself. I just feel like something, and it's not necessarily a nose blindness thing because I'll leave and come back. And when I leave and come back, it's just like it doesn't smell quite as strong. Like I feel like it really for the first few days smells really strongly, and then for the rest of the time, even if you haven't adjusted the dial, it just starts wearing off more and more versus being a more even wear throughout. So even though I enjoy these, it really just depends which ones I get for my house, because I have plugins from basically every brand except for Bath and Body Works because those actually did give me a really bad headache. But I pretty much just buy whichever brand it has coupons, is on clearance. I got a few that were like Christmas scents that were on super clearance a few days after Christmas. So like that's how I shop for these. I'm not necessarily super fussy, and so I will repurchase them, but I would repurchase them because they're cheaper than the other ones out there at the moment. The ones that I really did enjoy, and I think these were also on clearance, which makes me sad. It means that they might not be coming back or might have just been limited edition at the time, but these are the Seamus and Cypress ones from Glade. And I feel like Glade also sometimes runs out a little bit quicker. These I feel like maybe ran out a little bit quicker, but to be fair, I had them on the highest setting because I liked this. It was fresh. It had a little bit more of like a woody kind of alpine, ness to it, but it just was really good. Wait, is this what? Oh no, it's an empty one so that I can smell it one more time. I thought that I had maybe almost thrown out a non-empty one. It smells kind of like Irish Spring. Now that I'm sitting here and smelling it, it definitely smells like Irish Spring, and I love stuff like that for my home. So I will definitely repurchase these if I see them again. I hope to see them again for sure. Okie dokie, last of the laundry, I promise. This is the Home Bright Laundry Fragrance Booster in the pink champagne scent. I believe I talked about the fresh one, like the kind of classic linen-y type of scent last month. I really like the scent of these. This is like a kind of pink champagne-y type of smell. It's very fruity, it's effervescent. It does not last on the clothes or like smell very apparent on the clothes even right after the wash. I kind of paired it with these Unstoppables, the number 37 Bergamot Oris and Vetiver Unstoppables because I wanted to kind of amplify the scent of both of them, and I really liked using them in tandem. Would I repurchase it again if I was in Dollar Tree and I saw it? Yeah, probably. It was $1.25. So moving into the more self-care stuff, the first thing I have are my favorite tooth floss, or they were previously my favorite, and they might still be. I have to maybe try out some new things, honestly. They're the Grin, they're tooth floss picks, if I didn't complete that thought. But these are the Grin Smooth Gentle Floss Tapes, and these are the like longer ones. I specifically got this type of them from this brand because they advertise having a longer, what do you call it? And I know that to floss your teeth, you should, like, the best thing to floss is just string floss, but my hands are too big to fit in my mouth. Like, I can't get my backmost teeth at all if I try to floss with a string. No matter, I've tried so many different, combinations of holding it a certain way, and it just does not work for me personally. So I was like, something is better than nothing, and I decided to get this brand because they advertise having a longer string on like the floss pick, which they do. And I really liked these because they felt thick, like I could actually feel the floss against my teeth. There were some other flosses that I felt like were more thin and weren't actually wrapping or scraping anything off my teeth, but I felt like I could actually feel, and I could actually see the plaque coming off my teeth as I in food and stuff. So I felt like they were a more effective floss pick, and I still do. But I had purchased this. This was a 150 pick one, and admittedly I was not as consistent as I should be with flossing, but this is one of the big packs. I remember buying it, I think in 2024, because I purchased it from Target, and I didn't purchase really anything from Target in 2025. So when I ran out of these, I repurchased them at Walmart. And when I got home, I noticed that the plastic, like I used them for the first time or got it out to use it for the first time, and I noticed that the plastic itself was a little bit different. It was a little bit more of an effervescent color. Like instead of just a white plastic, it was almost, it just had like a iridescence maybe. It felt like it was almost iridescent, and it just didn't feel like the same consistency. And then when I looked at the floss itself, it definitely didn't look as thick, and then when I used it, it definitely was not as thick. I couldn't taste as much of the mint that was on these. So I don't know, is it a thing where the ones that they produce for Walmart, because I know that's apparently a thing now where brands will have different quality products for different retailers, which I think is kind of deceptive at the very least, but should be illegal, because I should be able to get the same quality product if it's being marketed and packaged pretty much the same. But I don't know whether they have just overall made some changes, maybe tariffs and different expenses hit, and they had to cut operational costs, and they made some cost cuts as far as the product and what they were using. Maybe supply chain caused them to have to change to new materials. I don't know what the case is, but I definitely feel like the quality of them has changed. So they might still be, again, the best floss pick that I've tried, but there might also be other floss picks out there that end up being better if I, try some other ones. In the same vein, my normal Tom's of Maine toothpaste. This is their, They're natural with fluoride. I like to get the ones with fluoride still, and this is their Whiten Plus Deep Clean Anti-Cavity Toothpaste because I've got to keep those cavities away. So use this up. I have been purchasing Tom's of Maine toothpaste pretty much since I was in college. It's the only toothpaste that I just like the way that it tastes and the texture of it. Okie dokie, all the rest is beauty products, and admittedly I do have a few that technically aren't finished, and this is one of them, but I think you can probably tell by the way that this looks why I'm not finishing this. So this is the Prequel Cleanser. This is their non-drying glycerin cleanser for face and body, and I purchased this again at Target. So I purchased it back in 2024. I want to say it was in October or September, like later in the year in 2024, and have been using it since then, or had been using it since then. And it was one of those products that my cat was very attracted to knocking down in the bathroom every single time, like clockwork. And because the packaging is so big, this was something that was easy for her to knock down, even when I put it with the rest of my products in like a little tub. This one, she was able to kind of strong arm her way it out of the container and put it on the floor. So she knocked it down a few times, and then finally the top, like the pump part, broke. So at first I had the little top and I was just screwing it on and off, putting it in my hand, pouring it in my hand, going about it that way. At some point, the top of it also came out, like I lost that part. I don't really know how. I don't know if my cat like kicked it under the refrigerator or thing. I don't know where the rest of the cap went. So it became, I'm putting it in this, what do you call it, to try to use as much of it as possible. And the problem with this is it's just such a big container. It is for face and body, but admittedly, it wasn't my favorite cleanser on my face or my body, especially really not my body. Why are we knocking things down? For what? But this was a very slippery, slimy type of cleanser, and that wasn't necessarily the issue. Like the texture itself, it wasn't off-putting to me because it was slimy or anything, but I just didn't find that it lathered up well. And while my skin felt not stripped or anything afterwards, I just felt like it wasn't always cleaning. It's just like my face just felt too soft. I feel like you have to balance between a cleanser actually feeling like it cleansed the skin, and also it didn't. I can also say that sometimes when I didn't want to double cleanse, was feeling a little bit, oh, I'm too tired for this. I came in from a late night hangout with friends or whatever, and I just wanted to try to put this on. Like I couldn't use this to double cleanse or to cleanse off my makeup even a little bit. I feel as though I would wash my face with this, see, my makeup or some makeup in the sink on my rag, whatever. And then if I went to get a clean rag or like went against my sheets that are now a lighter color, I could still see some of my makeup coming off and it staining that, it just felt like my face wasn't getting completely clean with this. And then, of course, with the move and everything, just so much of it started globbing at the bottom, and it was such a hassle and so like kind of gross to look at and deal with that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of it. I think for someone who's going to use this on both their face and body, there's someone who cleanses their face in the shower, so it's like a boom boom, and that's how they're going to cleanse their face. Maybe this is something that would be appealing to you. And I've heard that the one with salicylic acid actually has a little bit of a better texture to it, that one feels a little bit more actually cleansing to the skin. But I just feel as though I would buy a baby size. I would buy, because I feel like a baby size or a travel size would end up with how much you use of it for it to, this one is too much for me. And I think it also just could be a thing, like I don't want to use a cleanser for 3 years. I don't want to use a cleanser since October of 2024 and still have it. And yes, it's cost effective. And again, if you're a person who doesn't care about trying new things, if you don't care about that, then sure, if you want to have a standby cleanser and that be the cleanser you go to, fine. But sometimes I do want to have, I want to have something long enough that I can appreciate it and be like, hey, maybe this is a standby for me. But I don't want to have it so long that it makes me feel like it's a drag to get through it. And maybe I just feel this way because this wasn't the favorite, my favorite cleanser and favorite consistency. Maybe if I liked it more for my skin, I would feel differently. But I don't know. It's just not for me. And honestly, the Pre-Cool products that I've tried thus far just haven't been for me. I don't think that they are the skincare brand for me personally. A brand that I know is the skincare brand for me, they had actually sent me a few products, but I have just stuff all over. I think this is dusting powder. They had sent me some items over because I talked about how much I enjoyed their sunscreen over on my TikTok page. And they sent me, two of the products they sent me were the Exosome Hydro Glow Complex. This is transportive, what is what is with me today in pronunciation? Transformative serum for radiant, smooth, and renewed skin. So basically more of a hydrating type of serum. I really liked it. I would repurchase it. I have something else. Again, I like trying different things. So I have not repurchased this, but I definitely would repurchase it. And if they sent it to me, I honestly would be fine with using it and only it and talking about it in every empties, because I like it enough that if I repurchased it or got it sent to me repeatedly, I would continue talking about it repeatedly and I would continue using it versus being like, okay, maybe I want to go get something else. But I also feel like with hydrating serums, it's so easy to try something different because it's not necessarily like exfoliating serums where, if you have a bad, I guess with any skincare product, you could have a bad reaction to it, but it's not, in my opinion, if you had something that's more exfoliating, salicylic acid, mandelic, azelaic, all of those that do more harm to the skin barrier. I feel like, you could maybe over moisturize, but can you really over moisturize? That maybe it's just making you look a little bit greasy and sweaty, but some people like that. I feel like that's kind of the premise of the mean girl, the clean girl movement. Anyway, another product that is hydrating. This is their Hydro Surge Dewy Face Mist. It's a boost hydration, barrier, and glow on the go type of product. And you're supposed to be able to use this under and on top of makeup and other skincare. I did not use this on top of makeup. That was my only regret, but I would repurchase this 100%. I actually thought about repurchasing this when I went to Ulta, but then they were having some sales on some other things that I thought were interesting looking, so I purchased that instead. Either way, I would, especially because I don't have a face mist right now. I just have like a hydrating face serum, or it's kind of more of a toner consistency, but I've been using it both in the place of a toner and a serum because serum is basically just a thicker toner. Is toner basically just a slightly thinner consistency of serum, like I was saying, because I already have something that has the hydrating slot. I haven't repurchased this, but because I don't have a face mist product, and sometimes I just like having a little bit of a face mist. Admittedly, I like it more, and I feel like a face mist is more, I guess, wanted in my routine during the hotter months of the year. So now that we're in the colder months, even though I could use the hydration as far as like hydration from the cold and dry air, I don't have it as much as like a cooling sensation. Maybe it's just one of those products that instead of function, how it makes me feel, the emotion that I get and the routine of doing it is more important to me than the function completely. But again, I would repurchase it. It's just where I have financial priorities in other places and don't need to have a 10 million step skincare routine when I have other things to pay off. Like I had to get my brakes redone, you guys. $1,200 right there. Crazy stuff. I also finished, surprise, surprise, some hair products. So the first one, I got a Unravel, which I used to think these tube keys were such a gimmick. I was like, do you really need something to help you squeeze out more? And outside of it being helpful for someone who has dexterity issues, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of things that are used for dexterity issues that I am just kind of like, does everyone need that? Or is it something that is being sold? Are they trying to adapt, they being the company trying to adapt that product to make it appealing to a wider audience? And that's what I thought too about tube keys at first. I thought that brands were starting to come out with their own branded ones. This is Summer Fridays actually, but yes, sweetie, but they were all starting to come out with their own branded tube keys. And I know that it's like a mixture of both, but I actually do think, like, look at how thin. I was able to get pretty much every single drop of this JVN Complete Air Dry Cream out. I got this scent when I was on Skeepers, or like more active on Skeepers, which is one of those platforms where you can get products in exchange for reviews about them. And this is one of the products that I actually did enjoy from them. I felt like it was a texture. Number one, I loved the scent on this. It's just like a fresh, clean, like kind of florally type of fragrance. I really enjoy, again, the fragrance fragrance on it. I also liked how lightweight it was, especially since I don't have a lot of hair, even though it's a little bit longer right now. I have a, what do you call it, appointment, a buzz off my hair appointment tomorrow because this is longer than what I like for my hair personally, but because I've been growing it out a little bit longer in between haircuts, I have actually been using more hair products, so it kind of works out. Anyway, I liked this. I feel like it gave nice texture. I don't feel like it had any hold or anything like that. It was very lightweight, which again, for having such, short hair was good for me because it meant that my hair looked nice and moisturized without being weighed down or without being too thick or clumping up in my hair. That's something that I've had a lot of issues with different hair creams and hair treatments and stuff like that, or leave-ons, is that they just kind of gunk up a little bit easier in my hair because it's shorter. But this one didn't do that. So it's an expensive product. Would I purchase it with my own money? If I had a gift card or something, or came into a little extra money and wanted to treat myself, absolutely. Do I think I would make it a part of my everyday routine? If I was in a different tax bracket, yes, I think I would, because I did overall like the way that this felt, and because again, it felt so lightweight on my head and my scalp, and that means a lot to me for like my current hairdo. Then there's this Kristen S Scalp Plus Hair Milk Oil. And again, I was looking for a product, like I wanted to incorporate a hair oil or something like that, but a lot of hair oils feel too heavy for my hair currently. So I saw this, it said it's a milk/oil. And when I saw the product page for it on Ulta, because I was in the store looking it up, I was trying to do as much research as I could into these products. And I saw the texture of it and it looked like it was a little bit milky and creamy. So I was like, hey, maybe this is something that will work well for me. This wasn't my favorite product. My favorite thing about it is the scent, and they actually do have a hair perfume in this scent. And I thought about picking it up because a hair perfume you can use all over your body. I feel like it's just in a lot of instances, a slightly more moisturizing formula of a regular perfume, maybe a little bit less alcohol. And then some of them are just regular perfume formulations. But I really like the scent of it. It has that kind of coconutty, but like a clean coconutty shea butter type of fragrance to it. Again, it's really, really nice. I do like the texture of it because it doesn't feel heavy and oily, but I think I need something just a little bit heavier, like just a little bit, like slightly, because I felt like this almost sat on top of my hair sometimes versus actually penetrating it. Even when I use this on its own, like I tried it in combination with other hair creams and styling products that I was using, but there were also a few times where I tried it on its own to see what it would do to my hair on its own. Makes my hair feel really soft, but it sometimes just sits on top of my hair for a while versus sinking in. And I had an instance with certain styling products where it would kind of congeal with them. So it wasn't compatible with every styling product, which what product is. Nothing is compatible with absolutely everything. I don't think this is a product I would repurchase for myself though. I finished this small size of the Mega Babe, the Smoothie Deo. This is the Fruit Enzyme Daily Deodorant, which is one of my favorites from them. Like I even dug it out. But this was one of my favorites of them. It has a very fresh lemony citrus type of scent to it. And I like the Mega Babe deodorants, especially these the ones in the white packaging. One of the ones I tried, Rosy Pits, which it did have rose hip oil, I think, or something like that. And I know I'm allergic to that. So probably wasn't the best idea for me to use that one anyway. But my experience thus far based on that one is that the white ones have a little bit more of a slick consistency versus these being more of a cream. I feel like these absorbed my sweat a little bit better and therefore absorbed the odor a little bit better than the ones in the white packaging. And again, I really like this scent. I've had multiple of them because again, it's a product that I talked very highly of over on the other app, and they saw it and they were like, we can send you more. And they sent me so many deodorants that I haven't purchased deodorant really since I think 2020 2022, like somewhere back in there. So I've had deodorant for a really long time and had to purchase it for the first time more recently. And it was just like, number one, why is everything, including like Dove and Secret, so expensive? You might as well, and that's what I kind of thought, I might as well, since I have a gift card too, go for one of the more expensive high end or like luxury, whatever brands versus just getting the drugstore like Dove, because they're damn near the same price at this point. All that is to say, I appreciate the fact that I did not have to spend money on deodorant until more recently, honestly. I've got to go soon, so we're gonna have to do the rest of the empties as quickly as I can. But shower product empties. First, I have the Le Mongrement or Le Mongrement. I never remember how it's actually supposed to be pronounced in French, but the Papaye Tropique Perfume Sugar Scrub. Number one, the scent on these, insane. Like, they really have a strong scent. It smells up the bathroom. I like that about it. I also think that the packaging is pretty interesting, a little bit more innovative as far as a sugar scrub, because it has a little hole at the bottom and then you just twist open and close. My only critique about this is that for a sugar scrub, something that is thick, the hole needs to be much bigger than this. It was a little bit more difficult to squeeze it out, and personally I just ended up using it as a cap, taking this off and squeezing it out from the bottom. So for that reason, I feel like they should make a little bit of adjustments to the packaging. As far as it being a good product, I think it was a pretty good sugar scrub. It helped exfoliate. Again, the scent was really nice. I feel like it actually stuck to my skin a little bit as well. It was actually perfumed, and the scent is a very clean smelling, like it's papaya, very fruity, but there's also something a little bit like soapy, and it could just be because it has a little bit of surfactants or soaps in it to help it suds up when it's, you know, you're rubbing it in and everything. But it kind of has a little bit of a clean, like soapy, almost musky undertone to it as well. So would I repurchase it myself for the price? Probably not, just because I'm really considering packaging a lot more in the experience of a product, and I don't want to struggle with the packaging, especially in the shower. I don't want to have to bend down too much because it's slipping out of my hands, or like things falling on the floor, taking this off and, oh, I gotta find somewhere to put it. I don't want to deal with all of that. So for me personally, I think I probably wouldn't repurchase that for the price unless they changed the packaging, though that one was sent to me just for transparency's sake. And I do, when I list the products in the description box, just sidebar, put which ones were PR if I remember that they were PR, and I have a pretty good memory. So 99% of them I would say I get. But anyway, also another PR product, but one that I'm happy about. I would repurchase this. I've already talked about how I want to repurchase it, but am trying to keep myself from repurchasing it because I have other body washes, like a slew of other body washes to finish. This is the EOS Shea Butter Pink Champagne Body Wash. Again, I really enjoy this one. The scent of it is just like the pink champagne lotion, very fruity, effervescent, kind of like these laundry boosters. They're still in front of me, so I was like, they do kind of have that very fruity, just like light kind of scent to it. I also really like the formulation. I've been using this since I think I got it in PR, and I want to say it got to me like March or April of last year. I want to say maybe May, but I've been using it since then, and I know I've been using it exclusively since I think June or July of last year, because I want to say I had like slight overlap with another body wash I was trying to finish. That means I've been using this since last year, or like for over half a year last year exclusively, and it lasted me that long. And I feel like that's really good. A little goes a long way with this. Hi, PP. But a little goes a long way with this. It lathers very well. Another one where the entire like bathroom just smells like this, and it lasts a little bit on the skin. I don't feel like a lot of shower gels really last long at all on the skin, but this lasts just like a little bit. And especially if you put it with the other pink champagne products, definitely it layers and stacks with them well. I did not realize that I also finished a big size. So I finished a big and a little one of this Mega Babe deodorant. Both of them that were sent to me. I purchased that one before it got sent to me. Really enjoyed it. But speaking of EOS, I have the Shea Better lotion. Again, started my addiction to EOS products. And this is the coconut water scent. I really like this one as a more fresh, clean, watery, almost like shea buttery type of coconut versus a really heady, sweet, vanillic type of coconut. It smells tropical, but it doesn't lean tropical island type. You know how coconut can sometimes smell. I don't know how to explain the very thin balance between those. But as you can see, I've been cutting open, and sometimes when people complain about EOS, you know, having to cut open lotions, I don't know, maybe I'm just not a new pore, but we cut lotions open. We added lotion or water to lotions in my household growing up when we needed to. So I'm not new to this. I am true to this. I don't mind cutting open my lotion to get every single drop out. So maybe that's just a little bit of a cultural difference, but I have another one of these, I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to go one by one through the ones that I don't like as much so that I can eventually have the ones that I do all like kind of displayed out on my dresser. This is one that I do enjoy for layering and coconut routines, like fragrance routines. That's one of my favorite products to go towards. Another lotion that I finished, and again, I cut open every lotion. Like I said, it's not just, you know, inexpensive ones or certain lotion brands. They all are always going to have quite a bit of lotion inside of them. But this is Future Society's Floating Forest. This one is a really interesting kind of creamy but also woody green fragrance. It is just really interesting. I don't remember all of the notes to this one, but it just wasn't something that I thought I would enjoy. There's also a matching perfume to this, but I feel like I like the body butter or lotion body cream better than I liked the scent of the, like I like the scent of the perfume, but there's just something creamier about the way that this smells, and it's so delectable, and I haven't really smelled anything like this one. As far as the consistency of the body cream and lotion, again, the packaging is my biggest gripe. It has like the little small thing at the top, and with how thick this is, it's just not super easy to squeeze out. So I ended up just taking off the top, pouring it out on my hand and using it that way. So I would prefer a squeeze tube. I would prefer a tub. I prefer pretty much anything. I think in general, just this packaging is always going to be one that, again, is either difficult to squeeze or there's a lot of products left over. And, you know, I just feel as though we could move beyond to things that make the experience of the product a little bit better. So that's the only thing. As far as the scent and the formula, I like that. I don't love the packaging with the consistency. Two products I didn't finish because they're kind of old. The first one is the Give Beauty Double Dip In 2-in-1 Lip Color, and this was in my bathroom from my last apartment. And if you know about everything that happened with my last apartment, the bathroom was a very touchy place. So I was thinking I was going to put this in my project pan this year, try to finish it up, and I just can't bring myself to do it. I just want to throw it out. And also when I opened it, I was like, oh, it's not necessarily bad, but it's just, I don't remember what the original consistency and color were, and I didn't want to use this. So I am going ahead and throwing it out. And Give Beauty, I don't even think exists anymore anyway. And then I also have these First Aid Beauty ingrown hair pads, and I liked these. I just didn't use them on, well, I don't think these were the ones to use on your face. I want to say these were supposed to be specifically, oh yeah, ingrown hairs for your body. I just didn't get as much use out of these because I was in an era where I stopped shaving, and therefore it wasn't really dealing with ingrowns and irritation bumps and stuff like that. I just didn't end up using this. I used some of them for under my arms, and I feel like they work just fine, but then when I went back to start using them again, they were already dried out. So again, just gonna go ahead and toss those. I finished the Phlur Ameline hand cream, which is in my project pan, so I will save my thoughts and like all of that on this for my project pan wrap up video. I also finished, which was in my project pan, I guess finish for liquid liners is a little bit difficult because it's like, could I still use this? Is there still a little ink in it? Yes, but is it skipping and not as dark and just, again, not really the product it was? Also, I think it's okay to throw things away once we get to that point. So the CoverGirl Exhibitionist Lash Enhancing Liquid Liner in the matte black color. I think it was matte. It was decently black until, again, it was starting to fade. I just didn't like the formula of this one because I did want to go over it a couple of times. It felt a little bit streaky in places, but if you went over it too many times, it got streakier and started getting crumbly. So I like the brown one. Like, I bought this because I really enjoyed the brown formulation of this liner, and this one just isn't, again, as good as that one. But that's in Project Pan. We can talk more about that later. Finally, for my fragrance empties, which I may just link the TikTok empties video that I did and go through these really quickly because I, again, do need to go. But I finished this sample of Sniff Suganami. It's like a creamy, musky, but also peppery type of fragrance, a little bit powdery too. I finished Nishane Wulong Cha, which is a tea fragrance, a kind of green tea, very lemony type of fragrance. I finished Phlur Father Figure, which was my favorite Phlur fragrance. It is a very clean but still juicy and sweet fig fragrance. But I've just learned some things about Phlur and their owner slash CEO, former owner. I think there's been some things I've seen with like acquisitions with them, but I've learned some things that just make me less likely to purchase from Phlur. So I'm probably going to look for more indies kind of within the same vein, but maybe not necessarily like clones or dupes, you know? Then there is Yosh Euphoria, which she sent to me. This smells like agua fresca. It's so good. It's discontinued, unfortunately, but I think Yosh said that she actually found some old bottles of it. She said that she might throw them up on her website, and if she does, I'm going to be there to purchase it because I love that fragrance. It's like cucumber and aloe vera. So good. I also finished the Daukens Aroma Opulence fragrance, which is a mixture inspired by Tom Ford Lost Cherry and Baccarat Rouge 540. Very beautiful fragrance. I do like it, but I think that one's also been discontinued. I finished 2 mixed bar fragrances. One of them I finished was in my Project Pan. Kind of spoiler alert, mixed bar Whipped Almond, the little roller ball I had of it. Completely done, really pretty. I still have other bottles of it, so I am good, stocked up on it. I wanted to finish that because I had another bottle. And then lastly, mixed bar Coconut Palm, which I actually got sent a bottle of this from them, so that was really exciting. I've been begging, bring back the fragrance pens, bring back the fragrance pens. I think you guys should bring them back. These were so, like, it's a gel consistency, and to be fair, you can't see when you run out, and that's like the biggest issue with it. But when you're like me and you have a big fragrance collection, or you like to bounce around fragrances a lot, it's not really an issue, at least for me, to not be able to see when I'm gonna run out of a fragrance. Anyway, I enjoy this one. It's another one that is one of those more watery, subdued, slightly sweet but not too sweet, kind of more clean, almost musky, shea buttery, that groove of coconut, and it actually goes really, really well. I think I was finishing this up because I also was using up the Coconut Waters lotion, and these just paired so well together that I just kept finding myself using them together over and over, and it finished 2 products because of that. But again, I have a backup of this that they so graciously sent me, so I will be using that once I go to wear more of my coconutty fragrances, probably in the spring and summer. Anyway, that is it for my 2025 empties. I know that was a monster of a video. If you stuck with me through the whole thing, I appreciate you, but I really do actually have to go now. But I will talk to you guys on the next one. Hopefully it won't be 2 months from now. I will definitely be back on my filming now that I'm a little bit more settled in my place. Let me know what you want to see though. Let me just stop talking. Bye, you guys.